trading. So I decided to go live once again because of the price action on the chart. And I also think it is interesting to have a little bit of an Elliott wave discussion. So it's going to be a bit of a different stream than usual. It's going to be a lot more chatting and Q&A, as well as you guys sharing some counts in Discord. I'll have a peek. So yeah, I got Discord open on my second screen, as well as the live stream, of course, as price has been moving to the downside. Now that's very nice because price touched the 886. Remember the probabilities that we had as price was grinding here were higher to eventually move down. Sooner or later take the low because price hit the 886 and then grinded towards the upside, right? The probabilities the past, well, one day, last night, this morning, this afternoon were over here. 886 hit, probabilities higher to sooner or later take the low. And here on the 1 hour time frame, we were looking for a bit of a bounce after the 886 was touched, rejecting at the 15-minute order block, which we had here. And I'll show you that afterwards we had some bearish CVDs actually. If we move to the upside here on the 3-minute time frame, right, lower high on price, look at the higher high here on yellow. That was a bearish CVD, first sign of weakness. Red candle, CVD moving up, some more bearish CVD divergences there as well. And yeah, well, I mean, now we're down here. And also here, we had a little bit of a bearish CVD, lower high on price, but here, higher high on this CVD. So yeah, there's not too much strength. Arguably, one can say higher low on price, lower low on the CVD. But on the 3-minute time frame, we touched the 886. And if we are really looking for price to impulsively move to the upside, then preferably it's not touching that 886, which we have done once again. So any move to the upside at the moment here locally would have a higher probability of being corrective in a wave C or Y at the moment. And that's just 886 probabilities in a nutshell. In other words, probability is higher to take this low at a certain moment. And we have the highest volume in this move down. Now, if we count an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We take a fib from the high to the low, toggle on the 618, and arguably we are still in wave 4 price action here, right? Usually wave 4 is longer in time than wave 2, or bigger at least. If price can move up and hit 66.2k, then the probabilities will increase for price to continue ranging over here and look for the highs. But at the moment we are below the support resistance area, had some bearish CVDs and touched an 886. So coming in hot with the low time frame stuff here. And below this box that I have here, which we had as a little bit of support for at least pretty much like a few hours here, there's not too much to the downside, interestingly, right? The only thing you have is here we have a low, right? That's something. And where is it? If I pull some volume profiles, let's see what we get. So we have a value area low 63.4k, and then from the low here, yeah, so 63k is your next area of support if you really lose this and continue to the downside on increasing volume. So yeah, that is what's happening locally. Now what I want to talk about as well is this range on a higher time frame. So it's going to be again more of a discussion, more of some like a little bit of thinking as well on the higher time frames and the range that we are in. And I'll probably be online for another 35 minutes or so. So bit of chatting. But yeah, Serega, Jeroen, welcome. Yep, you got the yellow badge. I think after yellow, it's going to be blue, or no, green, and then blue, I think. Mohammed, welcome. Good to have you here. Afternoon live. For me, it's evening now, but welcome, Agent. Good to have you here. The altcoins, interesting. I do wonder, altcoin analysis is on Sunday. I do wonder if the altcoins took the wick lows. On many alts, you have a big wick or a big high volume candle down. And I'm wondering if some alts actually took that low. What's up, Paul? Is salad rise? Learned a lot. That's what I like to hear. Thanks, man. Keep it up as well, right? You fix your head shape. I mean, yeah, this is the nice. I got a couple of Koens heads, but this is the best one so far. So I don't believe in manipulation. I just believe in price action myself. But hey, everyone has their own things. No, I just believe in buying, selling. I don't look at. I personally don't look at third, or outside influences. You know, whatever makes price tick. AI, bolts, buying, selling, manipulation, whatever people want to call it. But yeah, in the end, you just got to trade the price action. I just got liquidated with DIY. Oh shit, eh? Sounds that's tough, man. Yo, Paul, give me one more sentence and you're literally gone, okay? give me another one. Try another one. Paul. I swear you're gonna go, man. I'm completely fine with people saying something one time. And if you think it's a scam and manipulation, then go somewhere else. Go to gold, go to Forex, go to whatever. Okay, there you go. I'm so done. Let's see what you do next time. Okay, very nice. So let's continue the discussion. So I pretty much said what I'm looking for locally, and we'll see. So by the way, welcome Donovan. Good to have you here. But yeah, Ahmed. Hopefully, I mean, of course, you know, it's never great, but the only thing one can do with this is hopefully learn a lesson there. And Eduardo, that's indeed a safe way of approaching the chart at the moment. Sellout rise. I always look for opportunities. Welcome, Brian. And Leighton Stone Road. Welcome as well. Definitely enjoyed my time in France. It was good. Yeah. I was very tired, got to say, but it was good. Mirovsky, welcome. Yeah, exactly, agent. Looked like Paul repeating 5 times, 3 times, 4 times actually. Bitcoin is scam and manipulation. And what are you doing here? Go somewhere else, mate. Like, go and trade your money somewhere else. You know, we don't have time for you. Just fuck off. Butter another streamer. So anyway, that being said, zooming out. So yeah, we are at pretty much the final little bit of support that I have, but we did touch the 886 again at the low, and that remains a rare target for a wave 2. Right. So it does increase probabilities to still take this low, and now we have a potential support resistance flip here as well, meaning support turning into resistance. Bit of bearish CVD already played out here. Of course, we do have a higher low and now a lower low on blue, so that's a bullish CVD where the target is the high, but we did touch the 886. Right. And from an Elliott wave point of view, the 886 increases probabilities that any move up is a wave C or Y, and therefore it increases probabilities that sooner or later you're likely going to take out the low. So unless price can really show sign of strength by grinding to the upside, you know, bullish market structure, and continuously show us some signs of strength in volume, CVD, whatever you like to look for, you know, probabilities are higher to take out that low. The problem is that there's not too much below the low, so either wick this or yeah, you know, next area 64.5, and then there's a whole gap. There's just not much down there. So did France feel very different? Well, I'm very familiar with France. I've been there many times, especially as a kid as well, because my mom is French, so we always went there for holiday to the south of France. Does it feel very different? Yes, I would say yes. And that's mainly because of the, like, look, the Netherlands is flat. And France is, you have the mountains, you have the Alps, right? Of course, the Netherlands has the ocean, but the weather here is a little different compared to the south of France as well, and it's just lifestyle is different there. What's up, Mirovsky? Black Friday. Yeah. What's up, Cheese? How you doing? Okay, so so again on the 15-minute. Just to repeat before we go to higher time frames and start a little bit of a discussion again, it's a bit of a different live stream now than usual because I will engage a lot more and chatting. We always do chatting and Q&A, but I have some stuff I want to talk about on a higher time frame. But here, if we're looking for an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Invalidation wave 4, 618, 66.2. So if price can move to the upside and hit this level, probabilities are higher to continue to the upside. At the low at the moment, we touch the 886, increasing probabilities to take this low at a certain moment. So the probabilities, therefore, from an Elliott wave point of view, very locally are higher to take this low unless price either hits the 618 or shows us really like proof of support. Get us a grind up, show some bullish CVD, show some volume moving up. Don't show bearish CVDs all the time with every bounce that we have so far, which so far we got here as well. Bounce up, retrace, more bearish CVDs. Now we have a bit of a bounce as well, once again. But because we touched the 886, any move up at the moment has a higher probability of being C or Y, increasing probabilities to still take the low. We are ranging around support, but of course here we held it, and now we closed a candle below. So arguably, we have to be aware of potential SR flips in this area as well. Now, what I like to discuss, let me actually put an alarm at the low and put an alarm at the, put that there. Okay. So what I wanted to discuss is two things, right? The number one thing is this range, and the number two thing is this high. And some people may know also why. So this range purely because, hey, can we end the range here? I know that in the past I have covered this, but I want to cover this again. So can we end the corrective structure wave 4 at this low? And then look for 5. Second question, so we shortly covered that. That will be very quick because we've done that in the past ones. The second discussion point is going to be the highs. And the main reason for this is if this is your low of 4 and you look for an impulse up, right? You're going to look for a 5-wave structure. Now, preferably your 5-wave structure is this. But this on my chart is a lower high. It's a truncation. And that is incredibly, incredibly rare. Now, I do know that on some other charts, this high has been taken, like the index chart. It's just a bit of a thing that it didn't get taken on my chart. And some other charts also did not take this high. So even though it is incredibly close, as you can see, it actually just missed out on taking the high. And if we are looking for a wave 5, preferably a wave 5, at least, you know, closes a candle above 3 or at least wicks above. So let's actually start with that. Let's cover a few charts and see what they have done here. So this is the index chart, which took the high. So I will keep an eye on chat because chat is on my second screen. Oh, Joseph, we haven't gone through all the scenarios. You know, on the higher time frames, the scenarios for now are the same. Probabilities locally played out, right? They played out because we took the lows. So that's good. Remember, 886 touch here, probabilities higher to still take this low. We now took the low. So those probabilities played out, and now we observe local price action. We are at support. We do have an 886 touch at the low though, so it does increase some probabilities to still take this low at some point. unless you hit the 618, which is I gotta check on my chart. I just mentioned it just now. So on Bitstamp, we didn't. Then we go to, what's the next one? Bybit? Yeah. Of course, Bybit takes the wick. Bybit takes wicks. Wow. I don't know why my Binance chart is always so different to others. Binance US dollar. Yeah, that's what you actually like to see on all the charts. And this is, oh yeah, the Bing X chart. Also here we didn't take it. So yeah, there's a couple of charts that did and a couple of charts that did not. And that leads to an interesting discussion, no? With regards to the end of a wave 5 here or here. So we're gonna discuss a bit more, and I'm gonna share some thoughts. Now, with regards to, I will quickly cover the Elliott wave scenarios at least the higher time frame, so that we have that out of the way, and then we can go into the discussion, so that the people that are here for some analysis at least have some. Prof. Locky, yo, welcome. Aravin, by the way, Joseph, welcome. Good to have you here. Traders XY. Look at my guy at 11.8k subs. Been here since below 2k. One of the OGs, man. One of the OGs. Oh, good to have you around. Welcome in the live stream once again. 11.8, yeah, it's crazy. Almost 12. Yeah, it's nuts. In about a year and a little bit more, from 0 to 10k in a year, and now we're here. It's crazy. Thanks for your support and sticking around. Ponka and stuff. Altcoins is the Sunday altcoin stream. So every Sunday we do an altcoin stream. Same with this one. Yeah, but I'm streaming now also because of the price section here. So I just want to go over some explanation stuff. Truncations are very rare, yeah. What's up, Enzor? How you doing? Yaneno, Eduardo, nice to have you here. Donovan, 100k next. Okay, so what's happening here? Okay. So at the moment, now the analysis is going to be a little bit longer. So we're going to discuss in a second. But your bullish scenario, of course, is if this is your low, you want to count an impulse up. And it has to be a 5-wave structure. Now, either your wave 1, and actually for the sake of this analysis, let me remove this. Now, either your wave 1 ends here or here. There's a problem with both of these highs. The first is, as just shown as well, that on some charts, the high here, this one, has not been taken, like on my chart as well. Right? So it didn't take that high. And a truncated wave 5, especially on such a high time frame, I mean, a truncation in a wave 5 is very rare. So it's difficult to really, give that great probabilities. The only reason why I do cover this scenario is because on some charts, this high has been taken, and on some charts it has not. Of course, preferably, all the charts are aligned and share the same high or low, especially looking for an impulse where we then want to see, actually preferably, if you do count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, preferably we even close candles above the high of 3. And then we look for a move and a retracement to the downside. However, moving wave 1 here gives us the issue of wave 4 in the move to the upside being very shallow. So if we count an impulse, then we count a wave 1, a 2, right? So sorry, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, okay? Now, side note, the highest amount of volume is in your high. Most common for a wave C or a wave Y instead of a wave 5, as most commonly a wave 5 has lower volume, not higher volume. Just a quick little thing there. However, if this is your wave 4 compared to your wave 2, then clearly you can see the wave 4 is shorter in time, but it is also very shallow. Take a fib from the low to the high here, toggle on your wave 4 targets, and the 0.236 isn't hit. And the 0.236 is generally a minimum target for a wave 4, right? It's very rare for a wave 4 not to hit at least the 0.236. The most common target for 4, the by far most common, is 38205. 236 still common. Anything above is rare, right? That's a very shallow wave 4, plus it is shorter in time as well compared to 2, and most commonly a wave 4 is longer in time. So, you know, that begs the question as well of where to put this wave 1, right? Now, preferably, based on the move to the downside at the moment, I would like wave 1 here. We have that truncation on my chart and not on some other charts. But if we want to, like, this is, by the way, why discussion is in the title of this particular live stream. You know, it's very rare I actually go over discussions in such detail, and some people might not be able to follow if you don't really get the hang of Elliott waves just yet, but I'll try to be as easy and clear as possible, so hopefully you can follow it. But if this is the end of your wave 1 and you accept the fact wave 4 is so shallow and short in time, then because on some charts this high has been taken, we can't count a zigzag ABC down here. So we have to count potentially flats or WXYs, right? Now a WXY doesn't work, because if this is your W, this is your X in a sideways double combo, you then need either a flat in Y or a triangle in Y, but clearly this is not a flat nor a triangle. So then we need to think about a bigger flat in an A, B, and a wave C to the downside, right? And that is then a regular flat, where you have your A, your B, and then a 5-wave C. Now in a 5-wave C, we then want to count a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we want to count a diagonal, an ending diagonal, where all of the waves are 3-wave structures. They have to be, okay? In an ending diagonal, all of the moves have to be 3-wave structures. Now that means that either you want to count an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but look at 4, right? A wave 4 is invalidated if it hits the price action of wave 1 in a normal impulse. So, traders XY, who are you? Because you don't even have a green name here. So, you're not even a member. But I do appreciate you at least talking about the memberships, but you're not a member. I also do not recognize your username, and I do know all of my diamond members very well, by username as well. And lastly, right, if you're looking for signals, my friend, you're at the wrong place, right? So the focus of diamond is sharing potential setups and education, and especially making a plan, making your own plan and your own strategy. Now, first of all, you're not a member, so you're talking absolute shit here. Second, right, if you go into a membership, which you are not, because I don't recognize your name, nor do you have a green name. If you go into anything thinking you get signals or whatever, right, you got a problem. So probably there's a couple of diamond members here, maybe, as well as in Discord. And if you know something about the diamond members, they are very positive, right? I can show you emails, I can show you screenshots. So just fuck off. You know, we don't have time for you. So for the ones that don't know diamond, it's about making a plan, building a strategy, statistics, and I help whenever I need to help. So I'm active in some chatting, voice channels. lots of files about my personal trading strategy, sharing potential Elliott wave setups and the reason why. So yeah, there's many probably diamonds here and many in Discord. So if you have a question for the diamonds and you want to have feedback, please just write them in Discord and you will get feedback instead of random people that join live streams without a green name, green badge. I don't recognize the name as well. So yeah, this is what are you doing? What are you trying, my friend? Yeah, like, okay, well, we don't have time for that, of course. But he's not even in the memberships because because there's not many diamonds, I know all of my diamond members. I know all the usernames on Discord, on YouTube, and on Telegram as well for the ones that gave Telegram. So I know all of my members, and that's also, it's diamond. So I want to know my members, right? It's the most expensive membership. So yeah, I know them very well, and he's not one of them. But I can imagine it's like one of those guys that enters live streams where, you know, you have people like myself helping out others. I mean, you don't have to. It's an option for people that want to. And probably he goes from stream to stream talking about the highest membership and just say it's bad. I don't even know who the guy is, nor do any of the members. But hey, Jeroen is in diamond, but also probably others here. And if you want to know something about diamond, gold, or silver, just write the members in Discord. They're all there. So feel free to write them personally, one by one. Yeah, I can also show you some emails with reviews as well as pictures. I usually keep those files for myself. But yeah, that's that. So okay, random guy. Probably spend more time than I should have on this dude. But I at least, you never know what people think when some random guy like that comes in and talks absolute rubbish. So you kind of feel like you have to defend yourself in a way, if you know what I mean. So you feel offended because there's this random guy. Now, if people come with feedback and they don't like diamond for whatever reason, that's absolutely fine. I have no problem with that whatsoever, right? But if there's someone coming in that is not a member, right? He's never been a member as well, and then talks this shit. You get that feeling like, what the fuck? And now I gotta defend myself. If there's a member that says diamond is not worth it, that's cool, right? They can go out, but so far I didn't have that message yet. So yeah. So yeah, that being said, Mirolski. Okay, he's one of those. Yeah, so there are people out there as well that I don't know even, so I don't recognize his name. He's never been in there. However, I do know that there has been a member in the past that downloaded everything, the videos as well as all the files, and are sharing them to sell them. So if someone buys that, like maybe this guy as well, first of all, he's part of the problem. Second, he's then probably trying to share it as well. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course, I try to help as many people as possible, but you do get a feeling like you need to defend yourself in a way. And if people are not happy, they can leave, right? There's no problem. I have no problem. But I don't like these randoms that then talk shit 5 times in a stream and they've never even been in the group. Anyway, too much time. I probably have to cut this part out because it's wasting stream time. Wow, that was a first time. So anyway, we were talking about wave 1. Of course, I lost my train of thought here, but oh no, I'm back. So if we're looking for a correction, we want to look for an ABC to the downside, which means we're looking for a wave C, 5-wave structure, either an impulse or a diagonal. And an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 4 retraced too high, invalidating a wave 4. It shouldn't overlap with wave 1, right? unless it's a diagonal, but that's not at the moment what we then look for, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it also hit the 618, invalidating a wave 4. So we can't count a solid impulse here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's ridiculous, right? So that's not something we look for. So your most bearish scenario would be a 1, 2, 1, 2, and you look for a bigger 3 down. But in that case, you're going to go down probably very far. So that basically means that probably your diagonal, if you put one here, A, B, C, and then a diagonal structure, would be your best option for wave 1, 2, and then look for a 3, a 4, and a 5, looking for a contracting diagonal. Now, preferably, that means your wave 3 is shorter, right? So your wave 3 is shorter than your wave 1. So this 1 to 1 here, 64K, it's not a hard invalidation, but preferably your wave 3 is shorter than 1 in a diagonal, where you then look for 1, 2, a 3, a 4, and eventually a 5. Contracting diagonals are by far most common compared to expanding diagonals, right? Oh, by the way, and another reason I felt like explaining myself is because if I just ban him out of nowhere without giving at least a bit of feedback, maybe people think that this guy was actually legit, he was a member and he's correct, you know. So I of course I feel like I gotta say something about it. So yeah, preferably when we think about a wave 2, I want to put wave 1 here. So we go a lot more in detail, but this is the why behind why wave 1 here. But now it's truncated. But if it's not truncated, well, then we need an A, B, C. And wave 5 ended on the highest amount of volume, which is not generally what we like to see. Preferably we make a high on lower volume. And at the moment, the only wave C would be a diagonal, but it's too early to call diagonals. We need a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a wave 5. And only a diagonal gets higher probabilities in a certain structure when wave 4 is in, which it is not, because we're still working on 3 in that case, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5, right? So therefore, preferably for now, we put the 1 here. Truncation, okay. It doesn't really matter for the target of wave 2, because your target is always going to be 05 to the 786. To be honest, actually, I think I still took it from this high or the low to the first high here, because on my chart it's the higher high. So 64.2 to 59.8K, right? The 382 uncommon target for 2 has been tapped twice now. So preferably price finds a bit more downside into the green area. That is your main area for a wave 2. And then in that area, you want to look for proof of support, right? We don't randomly YOLO long or short. We always want to have an additional reason. We don't short or long because we think price is going somewhere, right? We want to see in the chart, whatever tools you use, that gives you confidence for an edge and price moving to the upside. If price is going to dump on a high amount of volume, we're not interested, right? We're trading, we're not gambling. So what we're looking for is price to find support and then show us it wants to move up by signs of strength. Now this is different for everyone, right? You can use volume, you can use market structure, RSI, CVD divergences, MACD, money flow indicator, crossing the weekly VWAP, whatever it is, right? As long as you have an edge, a reason to enter, and not just because you want to, right? Or want to feel excitement, or just want to be in a trade, or FOMO or YOLO. Those type of things are not things that traders do. They have a plan. Wave 2 area. Now inside this target area for wave 2, we have a blue box here around 63K and 62.9K, and then the 786, 59.4 to 60K, right? Preferably a wave 2 ends after the 382 fib time, which is taken from the low to the high of 1, this one here, right? And then it is sitting on the 21st of June. Now, if we take a fib time from the start to the first high, right, and we're talking on the wave 2 targets, then you can see if we would put wave 1 here, that price has crossed the 1 to 1. So in that case, wave 2 is long enough. But it's preferably not yet finished because we want to move in the 05 to 786 area. So your most bullish scenario would be an ABC where in this case, your wave C is going to turn into a flat structure, right? And all of the waves have to be zigzags in your wave C. A, B, C, zigzag in 1, in 2, in 3, in 4, and in 5, creating a diagonal. But preferably for now, we put the 1 there. Okay. So that is the discussion with regard to regards to the high, right? So which high do we pick? Now, I explained why a high has a certain preference based on Elliott waves and the volume here, as well as the truncation. Now, of course, alternatively, as it is not easy to count a nice impulse, we have to think about corrective structures as well. And this then leads me to looking at the range as a whole. Now, have a quick little look here. What has happened here in... Are you took the trade or marked the level? I take trades whenever I have the confidence in the price action locally to give me an entry. So I have a plan up front, and I look for a trade in a certain area, and then I wait for the area to be hit, and then I look for some proof of support. A 5 waiver. So of course you have a move up here, but your retracement did touch the 886. So at the moment, a move up has a high probability of being a C or Y compared to being a wave 3, for example, in a 1, 2, 3. The 886 is rare for 2. It's not an invalidation, right? The invalidation is the low. It's just probabilities. Now, as price moves up, apparently here, right? We didn't check CVD for a little bit, but you do have some bullish CVDs which already played out. So you wanna see that continue. At the beginning of the stream, I explained what I would look for, but I'll repeat that in a second. No, honestly, cheers, Donovan. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. And currently, as we speak, actually, I'm also I have a notebook next to the laptop here, and I'm currently writing stuff down about the memberships as well, and including, of course, Diamond and some voice chatting sessions and some other stuff in the membership. That is correct. DXY and BTC are related in a way. Nifty 50, that would be something for Sunday. In contracting, is it on for the ways to be short than the next one? The common target for wave 3 is between the 886. Yeah, so trend-based fib from the start of 1 to the end of 1. Of course, I draw my contracting diagonal too big. 1, 2, wait, 1, bit more finesse. 3. From the start to the end of 1 to the end of 2, toggle on the target area for your wave 3 and a contracting diagonal, which is between the 786 and the 886 trend-based fib extension. And for wave 5, from the start to the end of 3 to the end of 4, and then you have, where is it? Your 1 is your invalidation, and between the 618 and the 886 is most common trend-based fib extension. 05 or higher is uncommon. The 1-to-1 is an invalidation for wave 5. Okay. Alt stream on Sunday. When moon. What's up, Locksky? Of course, but I cover on Sunday what people like, because I'm not a Indian channel. I'm a global channel, mainly focused on Bitcoin. And on Sunday, feel free to mention the Nifty 50, and then everyone can vote. And if the Nifty 50 is in the top 5, it will be analyzed for sure. And if it's not in the top 5, then it will go in the Wheel of Fortune. And if it's in the Wheel of Fortune, it can still get picked because it's random. So the top 5 always gets analyzed, and then all the others that were voted for, right, they will go in the Wheel of Fortune. and the Nifty 50 could be in the Wheel of Fortune if it's mentioned. So it has a chance to be analyzed. Cheers, Yatsam. We're covering that. Do you have people who post low time frame counting in gold diamond? No, low time frame. I mean, John would be a low time frame counter, but he's busy with work at the moment. So yeah, low time frame would be 15 minutes in general, and yeah, the gold Elliott Waves channel is quite active with regards to counting, but not necessarily 1, 3, 5 minute stuff. You know, it's like 15 minute, 1 hour. I don't do lifetime, no. I also can't do this on YouTube, by the way, nor Patreon. Yeah, possibly Drake Hops, but this is the way I design my channel, and if people don't like it, they can go somewhere else. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3, right? And on Sunday we do altcoin streams. So on Sunday, if you want another chart, you come in on Sunday and you don't watch the content for the rest of the week. So that being said, is this correction here finished, right? So this move to the upside alternatively is a corrective structure where we then have a 3-wave move to the upside. Now it is quite difficult to count a 3-wave structure to the upside here for a bigger corrective move. Now before we go into this move up, let's first look at this section. If we want to end the corrective structure here, there's actually only 2 opportunities, 2 setups, 2 patterns, which is a leading diagonal, which is the bearish option, right? Where that low is a wave A or a wave 1, and then you're looking for a wave 2 or B, and then a wave C or 3 to the downside. That's your most bearish scenario, which means from the low to the upside, we need a 3-wave corrective structure. Alternatively, you have a WXY in here, and that's the end. That's the only option to end this here as a wave 4 correctively, right? Now, can we count a 3-wave structure here to the upside? Now, because on some charts this high has been taken, in the most bearish scenario, which I have here, in your most bearish scenario, you can't end wave B here. For a 5-wave A leading diagonal, a 3-wave B zigzag, and then look down for C. Inside wave B, the most common structure is a zigzag, right? So preferably we would have ended here and then moved down impulsively. But because on some charts this high has been taken, we can't actually end wave B at this high. Right? We have to end wave B over here on the right side. Now that leads to a little bit of a problem for this most bearish scenario, because now we need a 3-wave corrective structure that ends at this high, right? So let's go through the possibilities of ending a structure here. So what I then like to do, you sometimes see me do this, is zigzag, flat, triangle, triangle, WXY. Can we count any of these structures in this move to the upside? Indeed, elimination game, right? You just write everything down and you go through them one by one. Now in a simple zigzag, right? Zigzag is the zigzag family, simple, double, triple zigzag. A simple zigzag preferably ended here. But because again, this high on some charts took the high on the left, we can't have a zigzag ending here and then look for a move down in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because wave 2 took the high of wave 1 on some charts, and that's not allowed. Which means we then need to think about a double zigzag in a WX and a wave Y. But in a double zigzag, your minimum target would be the 0.618 for a wave Y. So now we're looking at a W, then an X, and then a Y. right? Also, for wave Y, you want to see the high of W taken, which on some charts happened and on some charts did not happen, right? But at least nonetheless, besides that, you actually want to see wave Y move at least to the 0.618, preferably in a double zigzag WXY. A double zigzag is a sharp corrective structure. You want to see a W, shallow X, and then move for wave Y, where the most common target is between the 1 and the 1.236, where your wave Y is around the same length as your wave W, which clearly is not the case. So it's difficult to give great probabilities to a WXY where Y on some charts didn't take the high of W, and it is very shallow as well. Triple zigzag is very rare, never preferred unless all of the other stuff fails. Now, just before the stream, the alternative count I had in my mind was a W here. So I just want to share this because I thought about it. So it's A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, finishing here. That is your W. This is your X. And then you have a Y, which is, of course, absolutely ridiculous. It's just something I had in my mind, because if this is a zigzag Y, A, B, C, wave C on some charts did not take the high, and on some others it did. So on some it's invalidated, and on some others it's not. It's very ugly, though. So a double zigzag doesn't work nicely. Triple zigzag is very rare. Yeah. So the zigzags, they don't look too great. Then we have the flats. Well, for a flat, we need an A, B, C. We never got a retracement that deep, so we can't count this move to the upside a flat. Right, from this low, A, B, C to the upside. We can only count a flat here. A, B, and then a wave C. Right, that's the only flat that you can have, ending wave C here. And then we get to the scenario of a WX and a wave Y, right? That is a scenario we do sometimes cover, which is the bearish scenario that I talk about in videos as well, which is still bullish, as after wave Y, you expect price to continue to the upside and continue the bigger trend, right? Because remember, your most bearish scenario is having a leading diagonal in here, counting this as a 1 or A. And then from this low to the upside, you need a three-wave structure. If you end a structure at this low, then this becomes a corrective low, and then a B or an X, in this case a B, for an A, B, C. And then we're going to be thinking immediately about a WXY. A second thing why an impulse is low probabilities, by the way, is because you touch the 886, I think, even from here. Okay, only to the low. So we touched that 886 here. I just thought of something else, by the way. So I want to cover that in a second as well. But that would be absolutely crazy. 1 second, I'm just, yeah, that would be nuts. Okay. So that is why this live stream is called discussion, because I go left, right, center. This is a lot less structured than my usual live streams, because I like to think live on stream now. But of course, a diagonal is your bearish scenario. Then you look for a three-wave up and a move down. If we want to be bearish WXY with an A, B, C, and X, cool, expanding flat. Arguably, if this is your A or 1, and you have A, B, C, no, that's a running flat, because C did not go above your wave A. Yeah, okay, never mind. That's also very rare. So, okay, shit. So, to the upside, a flat here doesn't really work. Triangle, well, clearly, this move here to the upside is not a triangle. Right? Doesn't work. And then we have a WXY. Now, a WXY is a double zigzag, of course, which we covered. WXY doesn't have great probabilities. And the only one that's remaining is a sideways WXY. Right? So you have a W, you get a wave X, you get a wave Y. Now that then means that this WXY right? Has to be part of a bigger structure if we do count this correctively. Now that bigger structure I so happen to have is, let me have a look here. I gotta find this one. So now we count this as a three-wave corrective structure, WXY wave A. WXY, still take the all-time high, then down in C. So this scenario is actually still bullish, but you're going to observe the reaction here and look for a C to the downside. So by all means, you still take the high, you still take the all-time high before actually starting the bigger corrective structure to the downside. In this scenario, your wave C. All right. So zigzag to the upside from this low, not great. A flat, not great. A triangle, where's the triangle? And then we have a WXY. And the only WXY would be for a bigger flat and then an A, B, and then a wave C. So that is why this move up counts better as an impulsive structure compared to a corrective structure. And as an impulsive structure, we need to label it a wave C, a wave 1, or a wave A. Even though this high is truncated, or this low is incredibly shallow, or this wave 4 is incredibly shallow. So, yeah. And this is why it's discussion, because of course we have scenarios, we always share them in the videos, and we take it step by step on the lower time frames. But one cannot deny that a 5-wave structure here is almost just as ugly as any 3-wave corrective structure to the upside here as well. Because counting an impulse here that fits high probability, like a high probability impulse to the upside, is nowhere to be seen. And neither are solid 3-wave corrective structures, because your 5 is truncated on some charts if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we put wave 1 here, we need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and wave 4 didn't even reach the common target area for wave 4. And it's a lot shorter than wave 2, which is also very uncommon. So that makes you think, what if this is corrective, but then zigzag, not nice, double zigzag, not nice, flat, not nice, WXY, not nice. So, yeah, it is very messy. Of course, we simply have these scenarios, so of course we're prepared. It's quite simple. Like what I do now in the live stream is I'm being very detailed. I go, I talk a lot, and this is not how it usually goes. That's why it's called discussion in the title, because I'm discussing certain thoughts that I have, and maybe people watching or other people have other thoughts. It just, for your wave 2, preferably, you still look for price to move down in the common target area. If we do look for an impulse, well, we look for this to be part of a corrective structure, either in an A, B, C, and then wave C, and preferably a diagonal. Or wave 1 is here, meaning your wave 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of wave 1 is truncated on some charts, which is incredibly rare. And this is a corrective structure to the downside, and not an impulsive one. If this is impulsive, you're gonna go down quite far. Right? So, and at the moment, probabilities would be higher for corrective structures here. So, yeah. Let's have a look locally. More bearish CVD on yellow. course, this is bullish at WXY because it's a 3-wave corrective structure. If wave X is not yet finished, we look for a flat, and we have now hit the most common target area for a flat. So if we are looking for a flat in X, preferably your low is in or soon to be in, right? Because if we look for a WXY, we then have a zigzag in W. Remember, higher time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is invalidated because of this move up. So that means that either we look for a 3-wave structure here or the potential for a diagonal. Right? But now we look at a 3-wave structure. So we have a zigzag down, and then your wave X could be positioned here for a zigzag in X. But it is a very short X. If this is your X here, which can happen. X's can be quite tricky. They can be very short, sometimes very long as well. But most commonly, they end at least after the 382. So that is why a flat A, B, C in X is a scenario we're tracking. Now in that case, we of course want to see local signs of strength on the lower time frame. We are at a little bit of support here. However, what is not that great at the moment is that your low touch the 886. Take a fib from the low, not even this high all the way, but to here. 886. And the 886 is touched. It's respected, right? It's respected. At least that's nice. By the way, the reason I take it to this high is so that this is your impulse, A, B, C, and then new structure. So because we touched the 886 locally, the probabilities would be higher to still take this low. And then we're going to move below support again. Because any move to the upside after an 886 has a higher probability of being corrective in a wave C or Y, which increases probabilities to still take this low. And that's exactly the same as we had earlier here. 886 touch, 886 from the low to the high, right? Increasing probabilities to still take the low. So that is why the moment we touch the 886, it was mentioned in the probabilities. Any move up is high probability corrective, still take this low. So now we have the same thing locally. Now here, we had a bit of a grind, bit of a bounce, that was nice. And we got to the downside to take the low. 886 probabilities playing out again. So yeah, that is, so just the 886 here is what at the moment lowers the probabilities for a big impulse up for now. Now, if price can show some strength, meaning it starts to grind to the upside and we get some consistent volume, bullish CVD, market structure change, go above this order block would also be a step one. I mean, then we can look for potential continuation. At the moment, we still have a lower high on the chart. We still had some bearish CVDs here, right? We have bearish CVDs here. We have an 886 touch here as well. Yeah, we're at support, but there's not yet a clear sign of strength. Now that may come, and as mentioned, what I'm looking for would then be a range to form, or at least a bit of a grind, some volume coming in, past the order block at least, see some bullish CVD divergences, and then I'm interested in moving up. Oh. So we have bullish CVD on yellow here, higher low in price, lower low on the CVD, but at the same time, that same yellow line is also showing some bearish CVDs here. So it's very messy, right? And first like to see more price action, pretty much. So yeah. So when we then talk about probabilities on all of the time frames, with the information that we have at the moment, as is always the case of course with the videos, the probabilities on a weekly time frame are higher for bullish continuation, if you hit 49.3k, which we are far from hitting, of course, if we would hit 49.3k, that is the moment where we have to at least start considering more bearish scenarios. But at the moment, that's out of the question for now, right? Highest probability on the weekly by far is continuing the trend. On the daily, the probabilities are higher for bullish scenarios where we are looking for a retracement, as shown, preferably still a little bit deeper actually, to move into the 05786 area. We have a daily order block here as well, around 63k to 61.5k, right? Nice little bit of support here, right? Where there is the potential for a wave 2 and then a 3-2D upside. So it's bullish unless we really see some strong local signs against this, right? So in other words, probabilities are higher to take the all-time high before, maybe at a later stage, the low, but for now at least probability is higher to look for the all-time high first. Unrelated to how we then count this in a lot of detail. So in this stream, of course, I went in detail. Wherever we put wave 1, this is an incredibly ugly impulsive structure. But at the same time, it's a really ugly corrective structure. If we want to count an impulse here, if you end wave 1 here, then your wave 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is truncated on some charts, incredibly rare. If you put wave 1 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then your wave 4 is incredibly shallow, not even touching the 2, 3, 6. And your wave 5 ended on the highest amount of volume in this move to the upside, which is also uncommon. Maybe it's even preferred compared to a truncation, right? That you do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A truncation is so rare that maybe a very short wave 4 compared to 2 and wave 4 not retracing to the common target area at all, plus wave 5 ending on a high amount of volume, still has higher probabilities than a truncated 5. That's something to discuss. But by all means, you're then looking for a correction to the downside here. A corrective structure to the upside, yeah, we could have a W, X, and a Y, but then you're still gonna take the all-time high here. So zigzag doesn't work. Double zigzag, wave Y is incredibly shallow, plus wave Y didn't take the high of W in some charts. Triple zigzag, very rare. Flat structure, irrelevant. Triangle, irrelevant. WXY, sideways double combo, at the moment irrelevant. And that leaves you with the bearish scenario being the one I pretty much talk about all the time, which is this one. But this is still bullish on the weekly because you're looking for a WXY and then continuation up. But yeah, locally there's no clear sign of strength just yet. So we need to wait and see what price does here. Maybe we're going to create a bit of a weekend range here, which would create more confidence. So preferably this is wave 4 price action if we look for an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if price does move up and hit 66.2k, the probabilities turn around to move up. Up till that moment, we either need strong signs of strength here locally, but for now probabilities are higher to still take this low unless we can see some solid signs of strength. So yeah. Okay, let's have a look at chat, guys, because it's discussion, so you guys are of course part of the discussion. Yo, Dakoson, El Ciaro. I think it's the first time I see your name as well. Welcome. And thanks for the 25. I don't know the logo, but thanks, man. Very kind of you. Your first super on a live stream as well. And also, I think the first time I ever saw your name in a stream. So welcome. Good to have you here. And appreciate the dono. Yatin, it's midnight. 1 a.m. in the morning, still joining. What's up, Yatin Singular? How you doing? Welcome. So good to have you here. Gonna go through the chat in a second. Let me put the target boxes on because we are at some support. 30 minutes. So in the 30-minute time frame, we are still ranging on top of support at least. It's going to be interesting to see what price is going to show. We still have like higher low in price, lower low on the CVD in yellow. So we do have some bullish CVDs. But we also have the 886 touch. So yeah, what can we do with the probabilities? By all means, the longer we range here, the better it is. And it's definitely an area of interest that I have myself. So this is an area of interest for a long for me. But I do want to get a bit more confidence. I never snipe the low or the high of any structure. But if we lose this support, there's just not much holding you. So it's quite a, and the weekend is coming as well. So context wise, there is the right context, but I need the right price action. Mm. 0.618 touched. So want to see some volume, want to see some bullish CVDs playing out, market structure change, 618 touch, and I already prepared all my stuff in my trading window. So okay, quickly answer some questions here. Harmonic trading can be very efficient, absolutely. I think harmonics are really good if you have the experience in harmonics, right? It's all about experience, all about practice and studying. Cheers, Craig. Oh, 1 second. Okay, sorry, that was my wife. In Diamond, do you have learning research on all like what? Dakason, you don't have to go to Diamond, my friend. Of course, if you want to, feel free to join Diamond. But if you want to know everything about Elliott waves, go to the channel and have a look at this playlist. So this playlist shows you everything you need to know about Elliott waves, including all the Fib targets, the Fib retracements, Fibonacci time. I talk about volume, I give examples, tips, and a lot more. So make sure to check out this playlist. It's completely public, right? It's free, it's public, it's out there. Silver is short-term updates in between videos when stuff is happening on the chart. I'll be updating the group. Gold is all about shortening the learning curve of you learning Elliott waves. So gold is where I'm constantly active, giving feedback, checking counts of members, also now and then doing a live stream there privately for the gold members, going over different charts and different altcoins and that sort of stuff. So it increases the speed of learning Elliott waves, right? Because they get consistent feedback on all their accounts. And Diamond is all about creating a plan, creating a strategy, collecting data, And that is where you will find people that are very much developing their own strategy. And also in Diamond, I talk about interesting setups that I'm looking for. That's also for free, available for free. The top link in the description, right? But in the description of the top link, I mainly explain why a setup is interesting. Not necessarily if I take it or not. And in Diamond, people can also see my other trading strategy that I have developed myself based on data. And hopefully it shows, like, it's an example, but it's also something I use myself. But hopefully people then look at how I have organized the other strategy based on data, and it hopefully teaches them how to develop their own and how to structure it on an A4 paper and all that stuff. But if you want to know all about Elliott Waves with the extensions and everything, free playlist, my friend. So hopefully you find that valuable. Beowulf, welcome. Sandra. Hey Sandra, hoe gaat het? Gaat goed. Begin van de stream was een beetje meh, met een of andere mafcase die erin kwam, maar gaat beter. Kut weer in Nederland, ja, vertel mij wat. Bewolkt. Is the big wave 4 really in on May 1? I think that was the low, right? Yeah, so that is something to consider. So the moment we made this low, and you can go back in the live streams, the moment we made this low, at that moment in time, I wasn't looking at an ending structure here just yet. However, I mean, you could with the WXY, right? That was the only way to end something here, or the bearish diagonal. If you really want to end the correction and the wave 4 here and move up impulsively. But now, of course, we have more information. So that is why I analyzed this range in a lot of detail, which, you know, of course, I kind of answered your question, I suppose, by the analysis that I've done just now. A 1-2 setup for a bigger wave 1. If you zoom out a little bit more. What time frame do you mean, Anzor? Wouldn't X be too long with the ranging weekend to come? Yeah, it has to be quite a volatile weekend, but if we take from the hunt, no, wave X still has enough time, more than enough time. So we're only at between the 0.618 and the 1-to-1. So wave X, right? Your X can easily continue. It's more like wave X can, you know, go to your 3 or 4 fib time. What's more important is that if we look for a flatten X, A, B, C, you want wave B to finish very soon, preferably on the support we're at now. And then you want to look for a C up. And your wave C can't be twice the length of, or preferably is shorter than twice the length of A plus B. So we take a fib time from the start here to, for now, this is the low of B. Toggle on the 2. Oh, that's still Friday. So, yeah, we have enough time. I'm long until 66,900. I mean, 66,900, yeah, I mean, it can be a target if you found some resistance there and you want a TP. Am I safe? Depends on, of course, your plan or strategy. At the moment, we are at some support here. And I mentioned what I'm looking for locally to get more confidence to look for upside. If price does move, right? If we do get some more confidence, some more price action, and price starts to move, and the probabilities are moving for upside, we are at support as mentioned, right? So if we see what I want to see, which means either hit the 618 at 66.2K. Signs of strength, ranging move to the upside, bullish CVD divergences, volume coming in, right? Different things. I'm probably personally going to look for higher than just the range, as we then have liquidity. Took the liquidity, then look for probably the daily would be an area of interest, and if we pass the daily, look for higher, which is the reason why a flat scenario is one of the scenarios I keep an eye on at the moment. But locally, there's not yet clear signs of strength. 886 touch here, so yeah, we're ranging, but I need more. But that's a personal choice. For now, probabilities are higher to take the low unless price really shows us more like signs of strength here from an Elliott wave point of view as well. From an Elliott wave point of view, this low was made on the 886. So higher probabilities, any structure up is a C or Y for now, until proven otherwise. So I am interested in a long here. I just don't really have the information yet. So, and I'm only interested, but the probabilities are not yet on my side locally, right? And as long as the probabilities are not on my side for a long, I'm not interested. Yeah. Davey, what's up? How are you doing? Lots to learn, hopefully. 49 would be the end of the bear market. Not the end, but it will lower probabilities for the scenario we're tracking, yeah. But the 49 would bring bear market ideas back in sight, I suppose. Like they're going to appear back on the chart again. The scenario when Bitcoin was when hitting is could happen as well. That is correct, Yusef. That's always something to keep in mind. Of course, the 886 remains rare for 2, but it is a potential. A double combo on the macro. That's, yeah, on the macro, I mean, very rare. But I mean, the bear market in, what was it, 2018? Could be counted a WXY with an X triangle, no? I would have to revisit. But yeah, double combos are valid scenarios. They're always something to keep in mind. The 786 and the 886. The 786 is a common target. The 886 is rare for 2. By far most common for 2 is the 05 to the 786, and the 886 is a rare target. Now that doesn't mean it is impossible for a wave 2 to hit the 886, but you know, as proven on the channel since well, the beginning of the channel, which is 20th of Feb. I don't know how many 886s we have tracked so far, but the probabilities after an 886 touch are much higher to then eventually take the low or the high that the 886 was pulled from, compared to it being a wave 2 and then a 3 up. And the probabilities are highly in favor of that to happen compared to it being a wave 2. So that is why if a wave 2 hits the 886, which we don't yet know at that moment in time. So just to show you an example, the 56K low here, right? Price moved up and hit the 886, right? We had an 886 touch here. Now, therefore, probabilities to begin with are higher to look for the low. I personally longed at 57.6K. This is where I entered my long. And the reason for this was, yeah, we had the price action here, right? And we have an 886 touch. So first, when you don't yet have all of this, right? Maybe not even this high. Probabilities are higher to still take the low, but the probabilities for me started to change once I saw price here moving up also locally, and bullish CVDs kept building, and then there was some volume coming in as well. Then afterwards you get the push, and this is where slowly the probabilities start changing. But before you have this info, probabilities are higher to take the low. Now this is the most recent 886 example, but by far most common is for price to take the higher the low after an 886 touch. So sooner or later. And the same was true here. 886, take the low. Yep. Also here, by the way, was it this one? 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so with it, I gotta slowly end the stream now. But the 886, just like here, higher probabilities to eventually take the high or the low. So it remains a rare target for wave 2, unless price can really show some more strength. So let me go get through this here. If there is a flat X wave and triangle Y wave in a WXY, so a triangle in Y is rare, but how would you draw the 1.38? Well, you draw the 1.38 fib from the start of W to the end of W to the end of X for your target of Y. And your target of Y is between the 618 and the 1.382. But you take it from the start of W to the end of W to the end of X. Dackerson, thanks again. What about a diagonal from the lows? Too early. You would need at least wave 4. What makes an impulse? Well, hitting the 1.618 at least gives some probability. So in an impulse, you look for a 5, 3, 5, wave 3, right? And then eventually a 4 and a 5, so another 4, 5. Now the 1.618 is also still a target for a wave C. So here you have an impulse 1, 2, 3 and an ABC. Wave 3 usually goes to at least the 1.618. If you pass the 1.618, that is when the probabilities for wave 3 really start to increase. For a wave C and a zigzag, your most common target is the 1 to the 1.236, which is not the 1.618, right? But if a wave C does go to the 1.618, which is possible, it's still relatively common actually for a wave C to extend to the 1.618, which confuses people with an impulse versus a 3 wave, because they're like, oh shit, we're in a wave 3. And then your price moves down, hits the 0.618, invalidates a wave 4, and down we go. So the 1.618 trend-based fib extension is quite tricky to really give very sharp probabilities to, hey, wave 3 or C. Now, if I do have to put the number to probabilities, right? The moment you hit the 1.618, it would be like 55-45 for a wave 3, right? 60-40. It's like very close to like just wait. Like what I would do personally is I either look for continuation, which increases probabilities for a wave 3 to the 2, 2.618, 3, or wait for a wave 4. And if wave 4 goes too deep to the 0.618, it's invalidated. And then you're going to be looking for an ABC or a double 1, 2 or a diagonal, but it's too early to call then. So an ABC would at that moment in time have higher probabilities. So the 1.618, yeah, it does increase probability slightly for wave 3, but it's still very much wave C target area as well. Oh. A full Elliott wave course. Yeah, so in gold. So the Elliott wave course, right, is here. And in gold, that is where I give more feedback, private live streams, I check charts of members, they can ask me any questions. So I guess gold would then be better than diamond, according to your question at least. And in gold, besides the short form content that I have here, this is all short videos. In gold, I have also an educational playlist, but the videos are longer, they're live streams. So I cover the different scenarios, but I do it live on the chart. So I pull the fibs and everything. So in gold, there's just a lot more info. So it's longer videos. You can see me put the stuff on the chart. And besides the longer videos where I still cover all of the different scenarios, usually sometimes, or usually a couple in a live stream where I put everything on the chart. There's also a playlist where I analyze many charts from 0 to a full Elliott wave plan. So you see, how do I approach a chart from zero, right? We have feedback Q&A live streams where I answer questions and give feedback and all that stuff, which I still do. So it probably gold is better, I suppose. Harmonic trading, yeah, answered this question earlier. I think it's absolutely good, right? But it's all experience, so you can use it, but you of course need to study. So we are ready for trade now or not yet? Depends on your plan or strategy. Anzor, have a look in Discord. So at the top, of course, you have the exchanges info, right? BingX is my main trading platform, and then you have Bybit, BTCC, Blowfin, right? All the info in here. And if you go to Bybit and you already have an account, then try to have a look at these steps here. And if that doesn't work, then a new account with a new email works. That would be the main option. Is that your car in Chrome? I can't tell. Cheers, Duckerson. I mean, short and long. Yes, I do, Jared. But I do go into long and shorts at areas where it's important. So just for an example, I actually did this recently. I had a long here, right? And I had a short here. So I was hedging my long for potential, well, with a short, which eventually the short is more of a runner than the long was. So, and this was also shared in the setups channel in Discord, where I explain why a certain setup is interesting. Let me see if I can actually find that post. Was this the 5th? Yes. Open. So that was the idea for the short. And oh, I don't need to save it. And this was the idea for the long. Eventually moved my stop up, but yeah, the position that I put on the chart is not. Oh, by the way, so oh, it's in Koen's setups. Link in the top link in the description gets you to Koen's trades, and then just follow the steps, and you'll get in Koen's setup. But I share ideas, and I mainly explain why is this interesting, right? Why is this scenario of interest? So I had a potential swing long from the low, but then I also had a short from the high where my stop loss was actually higher. So the position shown on the chart is not necessarily my entry, my stop loss, my target, clearly, but it's just the idea that I share, and I explain why. Is a FUD. Prof Loki. Cheers, man. I am from the Netherlands, Anil Kumar. So, hi, my name is Koen from the Netherlands, 31 years young. Elliott wave trading, trader, global keynote speaker. I guess I should call myself almost a YouTuber nowadays. Like, it's such an old term, like, yeah, content creator. I like that a lot more. I create content. But yeah, and Anil, you're from India. Never visited India, actually. Could this be the bottom? Yeah, so I guess I explained it, but at least we're at support, but I need some more signs of strength. So some more like market structure moving up, bullish CVD divergences coming in, hit the 0.618 would be nice as well. If we do, then I'll be looking for the daily or even higher. But for now, locally, we can't really say yet probabilities are highest for the bulls based on the local info. Got to be aware of a potential final swing failure pattern of the lows, though. Any more Elliott wave books you would suggest? I think you pretty much got the ones like. So I read the original Elliott wave book, right? The book of Frost and Prechter. It's actually actually getting dark, yo. So the book by Frost and Prechter, right? Elliott Wave Principle, Frost and Prechter. That's the one I have. Link in the description, by the way. All of the books I recommend are in the description. Trading books, money-related books, investing book, I think book. I only have one, I think. Entrepreneurial books and some personal development books. All the books I recommend. I like reading, so if I recommend something, I'll put it in there. But this is the only Elliott Wave book that I have. I never read the one of Glenn Neely, to be honest, and I can't suggest any other because I can only suggest and recommend what I've read, and I've only read this one. So cheers, young PC. Sandra Cole, 151 viewers, 35 likes. Tell me why you can't find the like button. Cheers, Sandra. One, two for setup for the big wave. Yeah, on the 12-hour time frame, the most bullish scenario is a 1-2. That's correct. Yes. High time frame confirmation. I'm not sure if this is a question or not. Can you look at fractals of the previous cycle? Not in this live stream. We don't have enough time for that. I'm happy to check it out. But in the previous cycle, of course, we also had dips and long ranges, long sideways structures. But this could be a question for the next one because I do have to end the stream. So I just quickly want to answer the final questions here. Yeah, GTP sleeper. It's definitely an area of interest. But no 4. Yeah, in that case, there is potential. Can you look? Yeah, same here. I'll make sure to check it out in another live stream, Mephisto. Make sure to come in next time. With regards, by the way, to USD dominance. Oh, it's not BTC dominance. I would need to check that. I don't know that chart out of my head. Do you think the shorts are going to continue to 62K? If we lose the support, basically if we lose the support where we are now, then the next area would be 63, where I have some significant support again. For now, we're at support, right? But we are looking and waiting for some signs of strength. What's up, Shirley? Yeah, notifications on YouTube. It can be a bitch, but good to have you here, Shirley. Welcome. Cheers, Mido. I should backtest in an official Elliott Wave material. I'm curious to know the Elliott Wave material. Yeah, the 618 is the one I use. The target 23605 is common. I have 05 wave 4s as well. How you doing in general? How's your health, mood? I'm good. I mean, I am now currently in a phase where it's like, so of course YouTube is growing, which means everything else is growing as well. So eventually I got to go to a situation where I'll probably eventually need some help in certain areas, but I have a list of people that are willing to help. And of course, I can then look if it's going to be an employee or whatnot. But health is good, mood is good as well. Unless one of those annoying people come in like at the beginning, then my mood is bad. And earlier today I have checked ChatGPT because I want ChatGPT to make me a bit of a schedule with regards to life-related things and work-related things. And I know how much time like streaming generally costs, and making videos and community management and being there in diamond and silver and gold and stuff and doing emails. So I try to get myself a better schedule, work life related. But I love what I'm doing. Mood is good, health is good. And if we grow the way we do, then it wouldn't, I eventually, I guess, need some hands somewhere. I've never had that before. I've always been a solopreneur, one can say. So will be interesting. But so far so good. Thanks for asking, Sarega. Of course, sometimes you feel, I suppose, a bit of pressure, especially, for example, in silver when there's not much happening on the chart, and you know, if there's not much happening, I can't really provide an update in between the content. And you're like, you know, they're still paying members. It's $10, but it's still something. So of course you wanna give people, you wanna make sure they get the value, especially also with diamond and with gold. So yeah. Do you pronounce the Z in Koens? In Koens you do. In my personal name Koen, you don't. You create content, yeah. What's up, Nuno? I'm live again, yeah, but I gotta go. Cheers, Bird Nest. What's up, man? Long time no see. Good to have you here. But I gotta go again, so I gotta go. I don't know what a BM is. This is a lot of short BM. I don't know. Current BM. I have a question regarding the current BM. What are your thoughts on the volume? Given wave 1 looks to have much higher volume than the wave 3. I don't know what BM is. I'm so clueless. The current BM. Bear market. Oh, bull market. Yeah, surely. So, okay, now I get it. Yeah, I mean, with regards to the bull market or the bear market, we have high volume in wave 1, correct? But as long as we don't see weakness on a weekly time frame, we're looking for price to move up, and you know, possibly your wave 3 has not even started yet, right? So you have to consider, just like we had here, and you have to consider this, right? Your move up has higher volume here than your second leg, you see? So the volume up here is higher than the volume you had here, and then you started ranging. And even here, the volume, look at the volume. Even here, the volume is still lower. While you're already, look at the percentage moves you're making. The volume only started to be higher here. So I wouldn't really pay too much attention to the volume at the low. So unless on the weekly time frame we start to see real signs of weakness, 49.3k would be a start. I'm not really looking for the bearish scenarios. This would be, Steve-O, a question for Sunday. In the next 6 to 12 months. At the moment, the probabilities are higher on the weekly time frame to move up. 2025, between 105k and 180k from an Elliott wave point of view is definitely a legit area. So cheers, B. Happy to know, or happy to see you use some of the tricks. Appreciate that. Okay. Probabilities are higher, yes, Alexander, unless we see some signs of strength and proof of support. 886 is not an invalidation, it's just probabilities. We are currently at support. If price can move up and touch the 618, it increases probabilities to move up, right? 66.2k. Or we want to see a bit of a range here and a grind up, bullish CVDs coming in, some volume coming in, and that makes me interested to look for then a long, and then, you know, stop loss goes below and we look for price to move up, probably go above this range, and then we have the daily or even higher. So I am interested in longs here. I'm just waiting for signs of strength. So okay, yeah, I know, Shirley. Okay, everyone, thanks for being here. I gotta go. Many questions, but I gotta move. 886 also hit here on my chart though. So thanks everyone for being here. I gotta go. It's already 10 p.m. and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow morning is going to be a new update. Hopefully you enjoyed it. The beginning with the weird guy coming in, I'll make sure to edit that probably. And you know what we're looking for? It's been a discussion stream, so lots of chatting and discussing the higher time frames as well. Quite interesting. Not sure if I'm going to put timestamps in this one. It's already 10 p.m. and tomorrow morning is going to be a new normal update. So let's see what's going to happen. You know what we're looking for locally? see if we can see some signs of strength. There is definitely the potential for a local bounce to the upside, but preferably we get a bit of information. So I'm definitely interested myself in looking for a long here. I'm just waiting for a bit of like a couple of signs, right? So thanks for being here, and yeah, I'm gonna catch you at the next one. The next live stream will be tomorrow again.